Hello everyone, welcome to Market Voice. We are seeing the warfield wisdoms from the book The Art of War, written by SunTzu 2500 years ago. And we are seeing how relevant those war treaties are for our trading activities even today. So many nice wisdoms coming out of it about psychology, about evaluating our strengths and weaknesses, about strategies, about our resources or the resource management, and all of those things which are relevant even today, not just in our trading but in any kind of business or for life for that matter. Today we are talking of some of the matters or information that is given in the ninth chapter about the terrains. When you go to the warfield, the terrains are very, very important. Whether it is high altitude terrains, or is it a flat land, or is it with lot of mountains and difficult to navigate, or is there lot of rivers or sea or ocean in between. So these are all the matters that needs to be taken care of when you are planning an attack on an enemy's grounds. So if it is your own land, then you know the demography of that land. It is also important, if you have to wage the war with an enemy territory, then you need to know the topography or the terrain of the land where you are entering into. Many a times we have seen, like, many small countries or the countries with small resources have successfully won the war because of misjudgments from the big nations. One example being, US lost its Vietnam war because of the difficulty of the terrain which they did not anticipate beforehand when they went in with the troops there. The guerrilla warfare techniques adopted by Vietnam was so superior and so strong. In fact, US Army, having so much of ammunitions and resources, also was not able to do anything much, and they had to come back without any victory. That was one case in point. Secondly, we have seen even recently with the Russia and Ukraine war, how a small country like Ukraine is giving it all its might and power and resources to wage and stand in front of a big troop by Russia. So, this is the same with trading also. Here, when we talk of terrain in war, it means you have to understand the topography or geography, the pitfalls of what field you are entering into, which can be mapped to our trading activities in terms of charts. Each chart, you need to be able to study it and understand it. What is it showing you? What is it telling you? Charts tell beforehand what will happen in future. So if you are able to read a good chart, then you can prepare yourself for all the pitfalls that might come anytime. So chart reading is very important for a trader. If you are a fundamental investor, or if you are a very long term investor, or if you are having only long only strategy, buy for lifetime kind of philosophies, then it's a different thing. Then you may not need chart analysis. At that time your terrain is going to be different. You need to understand about companies prospects, companies revenue, sector performance, or, like, what might happen at the macro level, geopolitical scenarios. Those are the terrains which you need to start reading and understanding them. But if you are a trader, if you are a short term trader, intraday trader, or a long term trader, you should definitely know the terrain, which is nothing but your charts. What is the chart saying? That is the first step. Whether it is in terms of price action, in terms of volume, in terms of open interest or other put call ratio analysis from the options data. In terms of futures, if you are looking into the futures charts, then the open interest in that. So this way, you should know what is your terrain, and you should be able to read those information in a good way. So for a trader, chart is the information provider. For a fundamental investor, there are so many other parameters which he has to study beforehand, so that he can completely prepare himself for any kind of eventualities that might come in future. So for a trader, just like a warfield strategist or a commander or a king, the way he strategizes before entering into a terrain, he studies the terrain. The same thing a trader has to do 100%. Read the charts, read them, understand them, and even before you go or enter into a trade, you should know what kind of trade might emerge from this given chart. If you are a trend follower, then a trade might emerge on the long side or on the short side. It might be a continuation of the trend, it might be a breakout or a reversal of a trend. So the chart tells you beforehand lot of information. It may not give you the exact information, but it gives you fairly good amount of information for you to prepare beforehand and increase your probability of winning when you enter into the trade with your resources. So with that thing, we will wind up today. We will once again see something else tomorrow. Until then, Om Swasti.